Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello my friends, it's Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with another custom video. This is another part of Clown Cable's commission, and he wanted none other than Soap Shoe Sonic. Now I've made Soap Shoe Sonic a whole bunch of times, so everybody knows this, the method of doing it. I got the 3D models, which Corey Sonic Fan thoughtfully provided for me, but this is a bit of a unique case. As you may recall from the last video I made for Clown Cable, they're doing a stop-motion series. And they made the observation that Sonic the Hedgehog can be very difficult to work with when you're trying to do stop-motion. The reason is because the figure has a very large head. And the solid cast head used by Jazzwares simply makes the figure top-heavy, and it's hard to pose him around without it either overpowering its joints or simply falling over when you're trying to take your shots. So they asked me, when I converted this one into a Soap Shoes figure, if they could also have a 3D printed head, because the 3D printed plastic is much lighter than the actual cast plastic of the stock head. Now, I always hesitated to make a 3D printed Sonic head because I always was afraid that his long spines would mess up, or there'd be a whole bunch of support media in there that wouldn't cleanly cut away. And I was partially right, as printing the head out did result in one of the spines screwing up. The reason it looks so neatly missing here is because there was a squiggly mess of material there, but I cut off everything that wasn't that wasn't good, so that's why it looks so clean. But it was actually quite workable. All the other spines and the face came out quite well, so I simply made a measurement of where the spine was missing and imported the model into Tinkercad and cut everything away except for that spine. Corey, you'll be so proud of me. I actually modified my own model, even though I did it in the most ghetto way possible, and there's no way that I would have been able to catch details of the face because Tinkercad doesn't have that kind of graphical fidelity. But a slightly curved cone shape to be a single Sonic spine is not beyond my ability. Of course, it doesn't really look perfect if you just glue it on, but I used some sculpt to make it look a little cleaner. So, there you go. He has a little line in his head, but it's no different than the kind of the seam lines that you would see in action figures all the time. So yeah, that was the progress of making the head. So here's where we're at. Clown Cable sent me the Sonic figure. They amalgamated their best parts, so like the best, the best of their Sonic figures. Like they use the skinny arms that don't have the bicep swivels because those are easier to get down to Sonic's sides. The bicep swivel arms, because they're thicker, actually make it so that Sonic can't put his arms down his side quite as well. But the bicep swivel legs, I should say knee swivel legs, are actually better because, they afford a better range of motion for when you're, standing and posing. And of course, you have the 3D printed Soap Shoes, which you've seen me do before. Now, the shoes, let's just get this out of the way. The shoes are just a paint job, and, I kind of don't like how complicated these shoes are. It's always such a pain having to paint all these tiny details. There's stripes and white and yellow and red. All colors are notoriously difficult to get looking good in a single coat. That means you have to go over these little details multiple times. It's why are the Soap Shoes so freaking complicated? I know this may sound terrible to some people, but I'm really glad that they were only in that one game because they are such a pain otherwise. Like, they're even difficult for me to draw. I like the simple pointy shoe with the buckle. That's easy to draw, easy to make, all that kinds of stuff. And I know I've probably alienated a lot of you by confessing that, although I do admit that they do look cool, and they added that grinding mechanic to the franchise, which has been iconic and beloved ever since, I'm really not quite in love with making the things. I really wish that Jakks Pacific would just hurry up and make a Sonic variant that has the soap shoes. They've already re-released the figure like 4 times. Is it really so hard to make a pair of shoes for it? Come on. But I digress. The head, properly painted up, is very blue. Oh, and by the way, I did have to paint the entire figure for this. Don't think that I just left the body unmodified and stuck this head on top. No. The entire figure had to be painted to make sure I would have consistency of the fur and skin tone. I mean, like, this is going to be used in the stop motion. That means it's going to be having photos taken of it up close over and over again. So if the colors are inconsistent, that would really stand out. So yeah, like, I didn't have the exact same type of blue that Jazzwares used to cast the Sonic figure in, so of course I could do my best to match it, but the only sane thing to do is to repaint the entire thing. Also, his nose is craft foam. I did my best to try and protect the nose that printed out, but that thing is so tiny. It's such a skinny little thing. It has almost no substance to it. Like, I don't even know how the nose broke off, because, like, I thought I was keeping it so well protected and everything, and then I just picked the head up to finish painting, like, where did the nose go? Damn it. So yeah, craft foam nose. That way, if it falls on his nose, the nose will just squish out of the way and nothing will snap off. And, yeah, redoing the skin tone to match the cheeks and the insides of the ears meant repainting the arms and the belly patch as well, which actually served to its benefit because the extra paint layer means that the elbow joints are tighter now. The figure that they sent me had very loose elbow joints initially, especially the right arm. I was afraid it was going to give them a hard time with the stop motion because, like, if you tried to pose this figure with a bent elbow, then the arm would likely just slump back down. But yeah, thanks to the extra paint layer now, this is it's a figure that will hold poses. It's not just posable, it'll hold its poses. And again, since this is going to be for stop motion, that's very important. So there we go, a soap shoe Sonic figure with a 3D printed head to make it less top heavy and easier to use in stop motion animation. That is the specifically stated goal of this figure. So, my son, do me proud. You will be in an internet web series and everybody will love you. So yeah, going along with that Naked Amy figure I made for Clown Cable last time, that's the figures that they're getting for the moment. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. This is Wake Angel 2001, signing off.